we're going to do something a little bit different today. I want to do the little trendy thing everyone's doing. We're going to do a reaction video, okay? I found this video clip a while ago from Muhammad Ali, and although he's not representing Christianity, this guy gets it. And plus, it's just a fun interview because I kind of like his personality, to be honest with you. I've always kind of been attracted to these people who are direct and somewhat confrontational when appropriate. You'll see what I mean. Setup is he's on this talk show, and he believes, and I think he's right, that the talk show host is out to get him, trying to trap him. He's trying to say some things to make him look bad. And again, it's the same attack on wealth that an interviewer would do with the preacher. Because if he was interviewing this preacher and the preacher was operating in prosperity, he would try to trick the preacher and trap him with some words, say something clever, try to get him to look like a hypocrite or something. You'll see in the video clip, it's the devil's same strategy that he uses everywhere. It's interesting. It's interesting. But we're gonna watch this video together and we're gonna talk about it.
Find out about you. That's why I asked the question.
Yeah,
I'm not hostile.
You not just want to find out about me. You can find out about me in private. You want to find out about me in a way where I can defend myself in front of the world.
No, I want to find out what's different between...
The Pharisees and all the dudes in the Bible is exactly what they did to Jesus. He was like, you're not trying to find out about me. You could just read about me. You're trying to make me look bad. You're trying to trip me up here.
Anybody wise, I know what I'm talking about. I'm glad these people are intelligent regardless of who they are and what the color they are. They know, they see what you plan, and they know what I'm saying is right after I explained it. Your thing is to get me on this show, ask me something that I can't get, and have me looking like I can't even represent myself and what I believe. I don't know what I believe myself, but you can't do it. A little too wise for you.
Well,
I know. Again, I know he's not being a Christian. He'll mention that in a minute. But I think there's some attitude pieces we can glean from him. I'm being real.
we'll see.
We'll see, right? No, it's another crap. We'll see. That means he's going to get me before we leave the show, right? Shoot. We'll see. That means you're going to get me. I'm challenging you, mister. What else have you got? Read some more. You ain't got nothing else, man? Well, when you said we going to see, I mean, you ain't going to see it today, or when you going to catch
It's always interesting watching a playback of one of these programs to see what happens, you know? In the sense of how people come over.
We got this thing taped.
Do you want to know the code so you can sort of start shouting at me?
Yeah, I want to lay another trap for me.
Right, fine. It's not a trap at all. This again points out the essential contradiction.
This will be the first show
contradiction.
Yeah.
See, I mean, it's not a trap. I'm just going to bring a contradiction to you so that you, I mean, oh man, it's sad that people do this, but listen to his response. It's great.
There is a contradiction, right?
I know.
He preaches against materialism, but fills his garage with a Rolls Royce, a new Cadillac, a new Lincoln, a new camper.
Two Rolls Royces.
Yeah, I love that. No, 2 Rolls Royces. Come on.
Now, I'll tell you another thing. Now, I wish he was here, the man who wrote it.
Well,
I preach against material things.
Yes.
When have I ever preached anything against material? I don't preach against material things. I teach our people and our religion that heaven is not on earth. I say heaven is not up in the sky. I mean, heaven is on earth. Hell is not underground. Hell is on earth. The white man has told you heaven is in the sky and hell is underground, and he takes everything in the middle. He's got all the factories, all the hotels, all the motels, all the electric, the land. I say heaven is a good condition on earth. This is what we preach. I don't preach this material things. And another reason I have material things, not because I want them, not because I see a watch today I want to buy in the Hilton Hotel. Watch for $6,000. I'm getting a watch for a reason. I have my Rolls Royces for a reason. I have the things I buy for a reason. Black people in America, I'm ready for you. Black people in America do not respect, even the world, people, the average man out here. Why am I on your show, George Foreman? Why can I get up and talk so bold on TV?
All right, this is the part I want you guys to get. He's saying, I've got these things for a reason. This is what we talk about on the Increased Life Show. You'll see, but he's saying the same things we're saying.
TV, because I'm the heavyweight champion. I was just another nigga out there working, I wash some dishes, and my opinion don't mean a damn thing. I know that.
Right.
But let me tell you another. Why do I buy pretty cars? Because all of the educated people we're trying to convert to the Islamic faith. The thing is, you all don't have nothing. Elijah Muhammad Ali used to have a little old house, a real old house, trying to be humble, and all the Negro preachers of Christianity will say to their followers, how can Elijah Muhammad be from God? He lives in a shack. Shouldn't God be able to bless him with a nice home? He wanted to be humble. He could have had a big home. He drove a little old car in his younger days trying to be humble. But they think you don't have nothing. People don't respect you when you look like you don't have no money. So I got to buy diamonds. I got to be the heavyweight champion. I got to have a Rolls Royce. So when I pull up to that other black man with a Rolls Royce, hey, my brother, come on down to the Muslim temple today. I want you to hear the sermon of Allah. It was a pretty car. Where that watch come from? Oh, my man. Come on over. And they listen. You got to have something. Most people will join a church. You get a Catholic church, any kind of church, and build a church and put gold seats in it, put diamond carved speakers on the wall, put carpet in that church, and watch how many followers you will have in your church. Let another man preach a better word of God. Let him have a little house with a storefront, and he won't have no followers. People are in this world, we love wealth. They respect people with money. So I have to buy these things, line them up. I'm fixing up a home in Chicago, English style house, 14 bedrooms, 60 years old. It will cost $1 million a build. I paid $100,000 for it. I'm putting all new furniture from Beirut, Lebanon. It's going to be a plus house. I'm never at home. But when I invite people over to talk to me, and they ding, punch the bell, dong, 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 dong. And my chauffeur come and go, oh yes, Mr. Ali, be out in 20 minutes. I have to sit upstairs for 30 minutes and make him wait so he'll appreciate me.
All right. Now look, the theology isn't exactly there. I get it. But there are pieces of his attitude and his poise and how he's looking at things that I think we actually can and should glean from. You guys have heard my story. And this isn't even at my current house. This is at my old house, which wasn't very big, but it was nice. And I had two guys, door-to-door salesmen, come up. They came up as a team and tried to sell me something. I stopped them. They weren't very good. I said, hey guys, let me get you some water. It's a really hot day. I got them some water. And then we started talking. I said, hey, I'm actually really good at sales. Can I give you guys some pointers? They said, yes, please. I gave them some pointers. And then they stopped me in the middle and they were like, wait, you own this house? How do you own this house? And my first thing is I said, have you ever heard of tithing? And they're like, what's that? I explained what tithing was. And I explained, Jesus dying on the cross for our sins and making all these things available to us. It took about 5 to 7 minutes, but I blessed them with water. I gave them some strategy on selling, and then they were open to hear the gospel. I led both of them to the Lord, and then we got exchanged phone numbers. They're texting me questions throughout the week. I mean, it was a great deal, but it all started because they saw my house. And they respected me. And they were like, how did you afford this house? How did you do this? We're interested. I drive a really, really nice Mercedes now. I get stopped from time to time. I remember right when I got it, I was going up to the car wash, and the dude who works the car wash was like, what do you do? And I was able to tell him what I did, give him my YouTube channel, get him started on the path, right? These things matter. What Muhammad Ali is saying is if we're trying to live broke and poor and we're not dressing nice and we're not going sharp, and look, dressing nice doesn't mean you have to dress in a suit. I typically wear something like this, but I get compliments all the time on how I dress. They typically say, Travis, you look very sharp. I've even had people say, you wear a hoodie in a different way than other people wear hoodies. I've had them say stuff like this. Haircuts, image, this stuff, he gets it. I'm telling you, it matters. And I know we want to say it doesn't matter. We want to say God looks at the heart, and he does. But man does look on the outside. And what we're trying to do here is we're trying to gain some influence so that we can make an impact. It's not influence. We're not trying to be famous to be famous. We're trying to make an impact. And even Muhammad Ali understands that. He's trying to get people to go to his temple. We're trying to get people to go to our church. I think everything you do reflects whose team you're on. in my personal life, one of the things that I believe, like I'm inspecting my life to see, are there things that aren't attractive to other people? If they were to look at my life, I want, it talks about in Malachi 3:12 and a couple different scriptures that people will look at your land and call it a delight. Is there people who would look at my land or my life and see some areas that aren't delightful? I mean, it can literally be things like, man, that dude always has a bad haircut. I remember there was one guy who came into town, and he was actually a very successful businessman, and then sold all his businesses and became a very successful preacher and a pastor and opened several campuses and locations. But man, he kind of looked like a bum. I'll be honest with you. Hair wasn't kept, beard was crazy, clothes were rough. I know what this sounds like, but I'm just telling you guys it's true. He comes through and he's hanging with a friend of mine, and I kind of didn't really give him much time of day because I just thought he looks a little homeless. Turns out he was a kind of famous guy, and whatever. My point is, he missed out on some influence and some impact he could have made if he just put himself together a little bit. And you might be saying, Travis, that sounds shallow. And I'm just trying to tell you that's how people operate, even with me sometimes. So the importance of wealth, as he's talking about here, I'm trying to get across to you guys. Now, the way we get the wealth matters also. We are not striving. We're not wearing ourselves out trying to get rich. Proverbs 23. Verse 4. Don't wear yourself out trying to get rich. Be wise enough to know when to quit. In the blink of an eye, wealth can disappear. It will sprout wings and fly away like an eagle. All right? So what we're doing isn't a pursuit of wealth. We are pursuing what God put on our hearts. And that's going to end up in wealth. And that's going to end up in success. Because everything we put our hand to will prosper. And it's great to have to be a Christian on a mission, but own a business, own 2 businesses, own 3 businesses, own investments. I do that. I do all those things. There's nothing wrong with them. And those things are producing wealth. Now, the other side of it is you can just ask God. You can ask God for a new house, for a better car, for upgrades. You can ask God. He'll either make the divine connection happen. He'll give you the money for it. It could be a supernatural blessing. He could just give you a strategy. He could just give you an idea. He just give you an opportunity that you need to act on. And that will result in the bigger house that you actually want. I think the main fallacy I'm trying to get you guys to get to not fall for, the main trap I don't want you to fall for, is thinking like, oh, I can't ask God for a big house. That's so selfish of me. That's so self-centered. There are so much more people with true needs. We don't need a bigger house. Yeah, it would be nice, but we don't need it. I'm not going to bother him. I'm not going to waste my prayer asking for that. I got to stay humble. That's the trap. That's the trap of the enemy. I mean, over and over and over again, you guys heard me preach. You can ask God for whatever you want. Mark 11:24, John 14, John 15, John 16, all say that. There's a whole series I have on YouTube about asking God. Go look it up. It's got the orange background. You'll see it. Go watch all those. And you'll see that God says you can ask whatever you want. I'll give it to you because it brings glory to the Father. Makes God look good is what he's saying. Ask big, receive big, make God look good. Everything you're doing in your life is representing whose team you are on. This stuff matters. We can increase our impact for Jesus, just like I did with the house. Man, if you have a house where people walk in and their jaw hits the floor, they're going to listen to you. I'm just saying. But if you pull up and your car's smoking and it's got a big dent in the door that you never fixed, and I was going to say, on my house, I need to redo the landscaping out front. Because the landscaping out front does not reflect the Father. There's a blazing hot summer, a bunch of stuff died. It's looking kind of rough, I'll be honest with you. But I've got neighbors whose yards I don't know what they do. I've never met them, but just from their yard and the presentation of their home, I respect them. I see that and I'm like, they do something. They do something good. They do something great. There's something different about these houses and the people who live in them. Let's just create that for ourselves so that we can have an impact. Those houses I just mentioned, if I go meet those people, I'm going to listen to what they say. I'm going to be very interested because they're doing something that is representing, in my opinion, the Father very, very well, making him look good. So let's examine our own lives. That's our assignment. Let's examine our own lives. What area of life is not a delight? If an outsider looked at your land, could be literal, could be metaphorical, looked at your land like your house, your yard, your car, or your life, could be your marriage and your relationship with your kids, or it could be, whatever it is, your business, your money, the way you dress, your hair. What is it? Someone would look at your land and be like, that's not delightful. Could be your fitness, could be your health. What do you need to work on so that your impact increases for Jesus? I love you guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe. And look, if you haven't already, what I want you guys to do, there's links below. I need you to take the Increase Challenge. The Increase Challenge is going to help you locate and eliminate all these hidden poverty mindsets the devil's put there that has held back your money. I want you to be successful. If you're struggling with this stuff, go through the challenge below. After that, you can enroll in Increase University. That's my paid program, my premium program. That's going to give you access to over 75 trainings. And we're going to do all kinds of stuff. We're going to get your money right. We're going to get your money up. We're going to get some passive income flowing into your life. We're going to help you with all your money mindsets. And we're going to help you find your thing, discover your purpose, and create the life you can't wait to wake up for. That's what happens inside of Increase University. I love you guys. Click the links below if you want more. I will see you on the inside.